have different vintage macro lenses, and some of them, like the Tamron 90mm, are exceptional lenses. But I never shot with a 2x magnification lens. I just received the Brighting Star 60mm f2.8 2x macro lens for APS-C. And even if it's an APS-C lens, I used it on a full-frame camera without vignetting on macro shots. I have never heard of this brand before, and I'm pretty curious about the image quality. As I am a newbie in macro photography, I wanted to get some advice from one of the best macro photographers on YouTube.
Hi everyone, my name is Michael Wydell and I am a macro photographer and a macro photography YouTuber. And Matthew asked me, do you want to help me get some good results quickly with a 2x magnification macro lens? And I love Matthew's channel and of course I will help you with that. So here are some simple steps to get good results with a 2x magnification macro lens. Step number 1 is to set your camera in manual mode. You need to have control over what's going on, and the only way to really have that is to use manual mode when you're doing macro photography. Set the aperture to f8 or f11. Set the ISO as low as possible, 100, 160, 200. And set the shutter speed to 1/200th or 1/250th of a second. Step number 2, use a flash. And you don't need any special like macro flash. Actually, I think you get the best results with just a regular cheap normal flash. Set the flash as well in manual mode and set it at 1/16th in strength. Then you just take a test photo of something, and if it's too bright you just decrease the flash strength, and if it's too dark you increase the strength of the flash. And then you have a recipe for a perfect exposure. Step number 3 is to find yourself a diffuser. And you need this to make the photo look good. You need a big, soft light source, and that is what you get if you use a diffuser. If you have something like this, that is perfect. This is what I use, just something that you put around your lens, and the light comes out here, bounces down here and becomes bigger, and your subject will look amazing. But most people don't have one of these, and then it's actually completely alright to just use a normal sheet of paper or something like this, maybe a filter for a vacuum cleaner. Just cut a hole in the middle and place it like this. It will work just as well, even though it is a bit more flimsy. Step number 4 is to find the right settings for this. At 2x magnification in macro photography, the image will be very dark. That is why you should use a flash. And also your viewfinder will then be very dark, so it will be hard to see anything. And that is why you need to find a setting in your camera, and if you use a mirrorless camera there will be a setting for this that makes the viewfinder brighter automatically. For example, on Sony cameras you can use something in the menu called Setting Effect Off, and that will automatically brighten the viewfinder so you can see what you're focusing on and what you're taking a picture of. Step number 5 is focusing, and this is probably the hardest part for beginners in macro photography, to get the focus right. And it's not easy. Even me, who has done this for like 5 years, I often miss shots, so you should count on maybe hitting it 10 or 20% of the time, good focus. The easiest way to focus at high magnification is to first of all use manual focus, and then don't use the focusing ring like this. Just set it in advance. If it is something very small that you're gonna photograph, set it at 2x magnification. And then you're not touching the focusing ring. Instead, you just rock back and forth like this. And then when the subject is in focus, you take many photos, and hopefully some of these will be sharp at the right point. It also helps a lot to use focus peaking. Enable that in your camera and learn to use it. Or focus magnification, which is basically that the viewfinder will zoom in on the center of the photo so you can see that what you're focusing on is actually sharp. That helps a lot. And that's it. Follow these steps and you will get some really nice results when you're doing 2x magnification macro photography. That's it for me. Thank you for letting me be on your awesome channel, Matthew. Over and out. Bye bye.
I spent 2 hours in a garden looking for bugs, and I shot everything following Michael's tips. I used a macro ring flash, which is not the best, but that's all I had at the moment. Here are my best shots. This weird lens is pretty good for its main job. Even if it needs a lot of practice and to be very good at manual focusing, I was pretty pleased with my first 2-time macro shots. Of course, with a better flash and the skills of Michael, it would look even better. If you want to have a more in-depth review of the image quality of the lens, you should check Michael's video on his channel. Link in description. If you wanna see more videos like this, the best way to support the channel is on Patreon. Literally any contribution makes creating better content possible. Help support my projects and get exclusive behind-the-scenes content. Thanks for watching and see you next time.